right now I'm going to invite Sarah Gatza up, and she's going to tell us a little bit about when she came last time, at our last outpouring, and she asked the Lord for more, and she was open to what he had for her. Just come on up here. So Sarah was with us in November at the last outpouring, and I'm just going to let Sarah share her story about what the Lord did in her life.
I'm going to have to read this if you don't mind. Thank you, Kevin. Last fall, I attended a prayer service here with my husband. At the time, I really wasn't sure what type of event it was, and I certainly didn't have any intention of being prayed over, but the Lord had been working in my heart, and I knew that Father Matthias would be speaking, and both my husband and I enjoy listening to his homilies, and so we made it a little date night and left the kids at home. During a portion of the evening, I was focused in prayer, and I heard Father Matthias say something like, if you feel the Holy Spirit grabbing your attention, I encourage you to receive prayer. So I knew that the Holy Spirit had been moving in my heart, and I followed that prompt to receive prayer. I tend to be easily distracted, and in order to remain focused and listening in prayer, I had my eyes closed in line to the altar to receive prayer. And I only mention that to emphasize that I really didn't see or was paying attention to, what was going on around me. I ended up in front of Father Matthias, and he began to pray over me. I began to physically respond to this prayer. I felt my heart pounding, my body shaking, like a wind coming over me, and my legs becoming weak underneath me. So much so that I stumbled backwards where my husband caught me. I was filled with this sense of peace, but also, a bit disoriented. I couldn't walk back to my seat. With the help of my husband, I stumbled to the first seat nearest me, and I stayed in that seat for a long time, just resting in this feeling. At the time, I had no idea that could happen. I had never felt God in such a physical way before. I am a very self-controlled person, and this was something I had never experienced and honestly didn't know could even happen. I sat with my eyes closed in the front pew for a long time. During that time, I remember just being in awe at the magnificence of God, and just thinking, whatever you want, Lord. It was late when we got home that night, but I went straight to my Bible to read about what happened to the apostles at Pentecost, and again reading it the next morning. From that experience on, it has been just a thirst and a hunger to know God and just more of his amazing goodness. I found since having this first encounter with the Holy Spirit, it has helped me to bring my troubles to Jesus, particularly in adoration. It's as if the Holy Spirit shined a light to this path towards our chapel, and I find myself wanting to be there as often as I can. I lay all my troubles out to him, and he hears me every time. I remember after my encounter with the Holy Spirit often repeating the words, I didn't know that could happen. I have been Catholic all my life, cradle Catholic, and I just didn't know that the Holy Spirit moved that way. I feel I received an incredible gift, and it's been a pivotal point in my life. I'm still very much an imperfect person, but the Holy Spirit illuminated the path to Jesus' mercy for me.
Thank you so much.